Welcome to another session of Scrap Your Stash taught by the 2Ps Garden Girls every Thursday. Today I want to share with you how to scrap 6x6 paper pads using the rolled paper technique. The theme this month is milestones, so I thought it'd be appropriate to continue scrapbooking my daughter's monthly photos. She just turned 9 months, so I'm scrapping those photos. I've gathered my supplies, which includes a bunch of 6x6 paper pads, a 9 that I've created in Adobe Illustrator since I don't have access to my die cut machine, various adhesives and embellishments from lines like Pebbles, Crepe Paper, and American Crafts. Alright, so I've got all my 6x6 paper pads and I've got a bunch of photos from my daughter's 9-month photo shoot, and I've chosen papers that match the photos. So with this extra large 9 that I've printed, I want to start making these rolled paper tubes to adhere all across it. So I just cut, it doesn't really matter the width, I just want to make sure that they'll fit across the 9, and each one is a varying width by 1.5 inches. So you cut the block and you put some really strong, super sticky tape at one edge, and you can mold and ply the paper to make it a little bit more rollable or bendable, and you just roll up the paper. And this strong tape ensures that it'll stay rolled in the tube forever. So I'll show you how to do this a couple of more times because repetition is the best way to learn. So again, I cut it to whatever width by 1.5 inches. And you put super sticky tape across one edge. Peel that tape away and begin to roll it up. And one more time for the sake of good measure, I'll show you how to create the rolled paper tube. So I think the smallest part of the 9 is about 2 inches, and the largest width, I just cut an entire 6x6 piece of paper to 1.5 inches. So it was 6 by 1.5 inches, so it would go all the way across the 9. All right, put some adhesive up here, peel it away, and roll it up. And for the sake of time, I'm not going to show you how I did every single piece of paper because there were dozens of papers, but I sat in front of a movie and I just rolled paper away, and it made the process go by really fast, and I got to watch a good movie. So I just went through all these papers and made the tubes, and I loosely just put them over the top of the 9. Now, to remember the placement, here's a trick I like to do is just take a picture, and sometimes I'll even print out the picture and refer to it. I wasn't too particular about putting it in the exact same position, but for a reference, I just wanted to see about where the papers would go. So I need to put this 9 on some sturdier cardstock, so the next step is to adhere it on some sturdier cardstock. Any scrap cardstock will do, doesn't matter what color, any color. Just place some temporary adhesive on the back and slap it down on your cardstock. And then you gotta get a self-healing mat and using a sharp X-Acto knife or craft knife to cut around the number. Again, if I had my die cut machine, this would be a whole lot easier, but I understand that a bunch of people don't have access to die cut machines, so all you need is a word processing program. You type out a big number, print it out, same effect. And again, to save time, I'm just going to go ahead and cut the entire number out. Here we go, and you peel off that top layer. The adhesive I used wasn't exactly temporary, so just take me a minute to peel it off. There we go, and now what we want to do is apply super strong adhesive to the entire number. If I had spray adhesive, that might work, but you know, I bet that the rolled paper tubes would fall off eventually, so I'm just using this American Crafts super sticky double-sided tape. Again, to cover the entire number, so you just place it across the number, use the craft knife to trim away the excess, and continue going along. I'll skip ahead so you don't have to watch me cover the entire number. There we go. And you gotta peel off all the red tape so that the entire number is super sticky and ready to go. And I'm going to refer back to my photo that I took to see where I want to place the rolled tubes. So the next step is just placing the tubes all down my super sticky number. Starting with the tubes that I cut the longest first, and then just go down and start placing them where they look good. Want to vary the patterns and the colors so that the entire number's got some good variety and is nice and bright and colorful, happy and fun, just the way I like it. I want to make sure that there's no gaps in between the rolled paper tubes, so you gotta press them right up against each other. And each paper tube has a seam, you know, where the paper finishes off, and I want to put that seam down so you can't see any of the paper seams. All right, there we go, just about done. Put this last piece on. And the next step is to trim away the excess. So you flip it over and use a pair of super sharp scissors and just go along and trim off the excess. At first I tried cutting it away with a craft knife. No bueno, that didn't work so well. So scissors are the way to go. If you can think of something creative to do with the excess paper tubes, by all means, that'd be awesome. But for the sake of time and space, I just put them in the recycling. So now I want to build my layout with this 9 as the main embellishment, and I was going to put it on this plain cardstock, but it just wasn't bright and fun enough. So I went with this doily pattern paper by American Crafts from the new Mayberry collection, and I've got these 6 photos that I've picked from Jane's photo shoot, and now it's all about embellishing and adding the title. So I've got these new chipboard thickers with gold foil dots from the new Crate Paper collection. You'll be able to find all these supplies down in the supply list. And right along the bottom, I'm creating the title, 9 months. That sticker was from the Lakeside collection by Pebbles that I cut in half. One half I just tucked right under there, and the other half after the video I went and added later. To build some layers underneath the photo, I've added die cuts from the Crate Paper collection. And here's a chipboard doily that I've cut in half to create more interest around the photos. It's from the Lakeside collection by Pebbles. Here's a little die cut that I want to put on top of the photos, but I realized the photos aren't adhered yet. So taking some super sticky tape, I will place a little bit on the back side of each photo. So this tape is so sticky that this is all you need. It's wonderful. And I only put it in the very center of each photo so that the edges can bend up freely and create that dimension and shadows that I really like these days. So just peel off each top layer and stick the photos down. And then, like I said, I like to bend up the edges just a little bit. Don't want to bend the photos, but just, you know, give them a little lift. All right, from this basic gray chipboard collection pack, I've grabbed this sentiment, and arrows are really in right now, so I'm actually going to trim this into an arrow shape. And I think she's adorable, hence I picked this adorable sentiment chipboard piece. And there's another little sentiment across the bottom. From this Amy Tangerine collection, I've grabbed a puffy sticker, put it along there, and I actually realized that these chipboard pieces are adhesive, so I just peeled off the back there, and I'm going to peel off the backing from this piece too. Wonderful, they're stickers. You don't even need to adhere them. They adhere themselves. The things you learn. All right, from this Lakeside sticker sheet, I've gone ahead and peeled off some flowers and hearts, and I just want to create some more clusters to draw the eye all around the page. That about does it. So afterwards, I decided I wanted to stitch around the entire background, so I ended up peeling everything off, stitched in circles, and put things back down. And I added a few more sequins and a tiny bit of journaling. Here are a couple more examples with rolled paper tubes using 6x6 paper pads. And that's what I want your challenge to be this time, is to use 6x6 paper pads and create some rolled paper tubes. And I can't wait to see what you create. Thanks so much for joining me this month. I'll see you again next time.